Hi everybody, my name is Brianna, and today on behalf of the Klinder String Quartet, I want to thank you for watching our video. We are going to be showing you the different instruments of a string quartet. So a string quartet has 4 people. So there's going to be 2 violins and 1 viola and 1 cello. So try to see if you can find some of the similarities and some of the differences between these instruments.
Hello, my name is Caroline, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the smallest member of the string quartet family. This is the violin. The violin has the highest notes in all of the string quartet. The lowest pitch sounds like this. The highest pitch, well, one of the highest pitches, can go all the way up to here. The violin is made up of lots of different parts. You're going to see these parts on some of the other instruments as well. First, up top, we have the scroll. This is a really swirly, beautiful part of the violin. Next, if you think about the violin like a person, we have the head here, then the neck. Here is the body of the violin. This black section right here is where we put our fingers, so we call it the finger board. Right here, we have a bridge. This holds all of the strings really nice and tight. When we hold the violin, it's right underneath our chin, so it's resting it, just like a chin rest. You might be wondering, where does all the sound come out of stringed instruments? The sound comes out right here at the F holes. If I could put my hand over these little F-shaped cutouts, you would not be able to hear the violin or cello or viola very well at all. That's a little bit about the violin. Now my friend Vera is going to talk a little bit more about what the violin sounds like.
Hi, my name is Vera Solomon, and today I'm going to show you some really cool things that we can do with our string instruments. So we have on the violin 4 strings, which are G, D, A, and E. And even though we have only 4 strings, once we add some of these cool effects, there are so many things that we can do to make it sound really cool. So I'm going to show you a few of those. First is a trill, which is going back and forth between 2 notes. Then we have harmonics. We have natural harmonics and we have false harmonics. So natural harmonics occur naturally, and it is the G, D, A, and E strings that we hear. And then really, really high, we have. Then false harmonics is something that's not natural to the violin, so we have to create them. So we press our first finger down and then lightly touch with our 4th finger to get that note. Then we have tremolo, which is a cool shimmering effect. Then we have something called ponticello, which is played by bringing your bow all the way to your bridge and pretty much putting it on top of your bridge and playing there. Cool, right? Then we have glissando, which is something I'm sure many of you love to play. And your parents don't love to hear. But it's when we go up and down the strings. Right? So I'm going to play a small excerpt from DeBarrio's Violin Concerto No. 9, and I want you to listen closely and see if you can hear some of these effects that I just discussed. Did you hear them?
So I will be showing you the viola. So here's my viola, And as you can see, it looks just like the violin, right? We have the chin rest, we have the bridge, we have the strings here, and the scroll up at the top. It looks just the same, right? Except that there is one difference. And if I show you my viola and I show you a violin, can you spot the difference? Maybe I'll hold them up a little closer. So what is the difference? I don't know if you can tell, but the viola is actually bigger than the violin. So the viola is bigger. It's like the big sibling, right, of the violin. And it has a deeper sound. So listen to this. So could you hear that it was deeper? The violin has a higher pitched sound. So with the viola, one way to make sound is with the bow, like you just saw. And another way is by plucking the strings with our fingers, and we call this pizzicato. So that's called pizzicato, and that is another way to make sound, and that is super fun. So the parts of the bow now, I will show you. There is this top part, which is wood, and it's called the stick. And at the very top, we call this the tip of the bow. And then you can see here, this is the hair, and we don't want to touch it. It's very fragile. We want to be careful with it. And sometimes it's made out of horsehair, actually. And then we come down here and we have the grip, so that way our fingers can grip it nice and comfortably. And then the end here, this is called the frog, which is a funny name, but it helps me remember. The frog. And this end piece right here is called the end screw. And if you unscrew it very carefully, if you can see here, the hair now is all loose and floppy. So this is how we put our bows away when we're done playing. It lets the hair relax. And then when we are ready to play, I very carefully tighten it, and you can see it's ready to play again. So that is my viola.
Hi, my name is Caleb, and today I'll be showing you my cello. The cello, as you can see, is much larger than the violin or viola. It also has a much deeper and lower sound than the violin or viola. Here are the names of the strings that the cello has. Our lowest string is the C string. Then we have the G string. Then the D string. And our highest string is the A string. Unlike the violin and the viola, we do not have a chin rest because we do not need the chin rest to stabilize our instrument. Instead, we have what's called an end pin, which is at the bottom of our cello, and it connects to the ground, and it provides stability when we play our instrument. We also position the cello between our legs to provide more stability when we play. Here's some special effects that I like to play on my cello. I also really love to play chords on my cello. Now I'm going to play an excerpt from Bach's first cello suite. I hope you enjoyed learning about the cello today, and I hope you consider taking lessons in the future.
Hi everybody, so we are back now. We're all together and you've seen all of the different instruments in our string quartet. So now we're going to play a piece for you, and this is called Death and the Maiden. So this piece is by Schubert, and he wrote this in the 1800s, and this piece is about a battle between the main character, Death, and the other character, who is this nice young girl, and he is chasing her, and they're having this battle. So at the very, very beginning, you will hear Death appears. around, trying not to be caught by death. Then the next part, you'll hear the maiden, and she's running away from death, and you can hear the running. I'm playing the viola, and Caroline is playing the violin. We are the running part, and Vera is playing the violin, and her part is the maiden, and she is running away, trying to find her path. And then the next part you'll hear is the maiden, and she thinks she has escaped death. She is running around outside in a flower field. She is all happy, and you'll hear the maiden in the violins. They're playing this really, really beautiful melody, and then you'll hear death, and he's lurking in the shadows, and you'll hear that scary part by the cello. So those are a few examples that you'll hear when we play the whole thing now. So sometimes our instruments get very, very loud, and sometimes they get very, very soft. So listen to all of the differences and see if you can hear all the parts that we talked about in our story.
If you have liked anything that you've heard, whether it's the violin, the viola, or the cello today, be sure to reach out to your parents or your teacher so you can join our string family.